Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are doing very well. Okay, so today we'll again learn the some topic of financial services. Okay, and today's topic is types of leasing. I hope you have gone through with your last class where we have started the topic leasing, where we have gone for the meaning of leasing and we have covered the features or essential elements of the leasing. So in that way only we'll go for the types of leasing today. Okay, so we'll start. First, what are the different types of lease options are available? Okay, so the structure of those lease are influenced by the lessor's preference and whatever the trends are going in the market, because we all know whatever the trends are going on in the market, definitely that used to affect the structure of any type of financial services. Okay, and whatever that is from the point of view of your lessor, fine, whichever they want to prefer and whether they want to follow the current market trend or not. Okay, but from the lessee point of view, I hope you remember who is lessor and who is lessee. Lessor is the owner of the asset and lessee is the user of the asset. Okay, so from lessee point of view, if we'll check what are the different types of your lease options, then lessee used to try to go for the different types of lease options which are best suited for their business and for their requirement. Okay, so lessor follow the market trend and their preference, lessee follow the requirement of their business and the need of the time. Okay, types of leasing I have just listed here. Apart from these 10 also, if you try to search on Google or on in your textbook, maybe you will get the, not maybe, surely you will get the another types also, but we will try to cover these 10 only, these 10 types of leasing only. So one by one we'll start. Very first we have financial lease. Okay, financial lease, so you have to keep remember some of the important terms. Okay, and those terms are your financial lease are for long term. Okay, it is a lease which is for a long term, where we used to say it's like over the expected life of the equipment, for which equipment you want to enter into the lease contract. Financial lease usually going to cover the expected life of that equipment. Okay, and it is usually non-cancelable. Okay, it is usually non-cancelable by the lessee, whoever is the lessee, or in simple terms who got the right to use that particular asset under the financial lease can't go for the cancellation. Okay, so you have to complete the term period for which you have agreed the lease contract. Okay, now as it is for a long term, okay, or as you are going to, whoever is the lessee, they are going to use the particular equipment for the expected lifetime, okay, of that equipment. So we used to say that generally lessee is responsible for the maintenance. Okay, lessee has to bear all the charges, whatever the maintenance charges are going to arise during the lease period, lessee has to pay it, lessee has to bear it. Okay, and as it is for long term, okay, then definitely the lessor will recover his investment, how much he has invested while purchasing that particular equipment for which the lease contract has taken place. During some period, during the lease period, okay, lessor will be able to recover his investment and lessor can go for the profit also. Okay, and this your you can take the example of your building, land and machinery. So building, land and machinery, generally in the market also people go for a financial lease long term. Okay, 30 years, 80 years, like this. Okay, we have a local example also where we have one land piece which is having a very nice building also, and it got leased for 100 years. So these all are your example of your financial lease. Okay, and this financial lease is less risky for the lessor. For the lessor, risk level is low because the lessee cannot cancel the lease contract, and lessor is going to recover his investment during the lease period because it is for the longer term. So it's good from the point of view of your lessor. Okay, so this is your financial lease. I have tried to list out the points here in a simple terms, so hopefully you can keep remember those. These points very easily. Now check out the list. Next one we have the operating lease. Operating lease also known as the service lease, kindly keep remember. Okay, and financial lease also known as the capital lease. Fine. Operating lease also known as the service lease, and it is just opposite of your financial lease. When I am saying just opposite of the financial lease, I mean just opposite. Okay, most of the points, most of the terms and conditions will be exactly opposite to your financial lease, and you generally get during exams also 5 marks question, difference between financial and operating lease. So kindly keep remember any one and the opposite other you can write. Okay, so financial lease was for a long term. Okay, so operating lease is here for short term. Okay, financial lease we have seen lessee cannot cancel it, but in case of operating lease, lessee can cancel the lease contract by giving the short notice. Lessee has to give the short notice. Okay, in your financial lease, if you remember, see, I'm trying to cover here the difference also with the meaning of your operating lease. Okay, in case of your financial lease, we have seen the risk for lessor is less. Okay, but in case of operating lease, as the lessee is having the option for cancellation, so definitely the risk level for the lessor is going to be more. Okay, and in case of your operating lease, lessor is responsible for maintenance. Short term lease we are going, so maybe I am going to, if me and you have entered into a lease contract, operating lease contract for a specific item, I am going to keep the possession of that item maybe for just for 1 month, 2 months, 1 day also. Okay, so in that case, lessor has to bear the maintenance charges. Lessor has to pay it. Okay, and as it is for a short term, definitely lessor will be able to recover only the part of his investment. Okay, only the part of his investment. And it is commonly used for the equipments like your computers, vehicles. Car on rent we used to take. I hope so you remember. If you want to travel from here to some distance, 100 km, 200 km, and you want to travel comfortably and safely, and specifically during your corona time period, you want to travel safely, then maybe you are going to hire the car. You are going to take the car on rent. So these are all going to be your example of operating lease. And one more point to keep remember, operating lease for a short term. Okay, that means we are not going to cover the expected life of the particular equipment or the asset. So one lease, operating lease contract will get over. Okay, the lessor will try to search for the another lessee because still the expected life of the equipment is remain. Okay, so again he will try to search for the new lessee and he will go for the another next lease contract. Fine. So this is your operating lease. Next we have sale and lease back. Okay, with the name or title sale and lease back, that means first you have to sell it. Which one? You have to sell the asset and then you have to take back that asset under the lease contract. I have written here also for you, a company owning the asset sell it to the lessor or to the leasing company. Okay, and then the seller of the asset becomes the lessee because we are going to sell the asset once and again we are taking the possession of the same asset under the lease contract. So if I am taking the possession of the asset under the lease contract, or I am trying to get the right to use the asset, definitely I will become again the lessee. Okay, now why any company go for this sale and lease back? Very simple reason, selling company try to collect some finance to run the business, and same time the selling company wants the position of the asset also for the use. Okay, for example, company A is having a machinery, okay, who want to use the same machinery but at the same time need working capital also. Okay, so what the company A will do, company A will in this situation go for sale and lease back option. Okay, company A will contact to the leasing company, naming, just example, okay, naming BC, okay, company BC. So company A will contact the leasing company BC and then they will sign the contract. Okay, we'll go for the sale and lease back. So in advance only all the clauses will be very nicely mentioned that company A will sell the machinery to leasing company BC and BC company will do the payment of amount on sale, through which company A's working capital requirement will get over and the same machinery will be remain with the company A, as the company A and the leasing company BC will enter into a lease contract. So A will get the right to use that particular machinery after sale also. So this is your sale and lease back. I hope it is clear. Next we have leveraged lease. Okay, in case of leveraged lease, minimum 3 parties. Okay, that means 3 parties should be there. One is going to be your lessor, one is going to be your lessee, and one will be your financer or lender. Okay, and this what happened actually, financer used to finance the lessor. Okay, financer used to finance the lessor, that is owner of the asset, who wants to buy the asset for leasing purpose, who want to buy the asset, purchase the asset. Okay, so financer will finance the lessor to buy the asset. Okay, and with the same asset, lessor will enter into a lease contract with another party calling lessee. Okay, and in this case, lessor has to definitely go for the repayment of amount whatever he has acquired from the financer to purchase that particular asset. And if the lessor is going to be become a default payment maker, somewhere he is going to be defaulted, he is not able to pay the EMI, in that case the lender or your financer will go for the direct connection with the lessee. Okay, and lessee will do the payment, and in this case when the lessee is going to do the payment of EMI to the lender, lessee will get the exemption from payment of lease rent. No need to pay the lease rent to the lessor, because on behalf of the lessor, lessee has paid the EMI to the lender. Okay, so this is your leveraged lease, minimum 3 parties. Next we have a domestic and international lease. Very easy to keep, remember, very easy. Okay, simply I am not saying very easy, actually it is very easy. Your domestic lease, if we will go one by one, domestic lease, where all the parties, who are all parties, we know very well, in any lease agreement minimum 2 parties required, lessor and lessee. So when both the parties, lessor and lessee, to the lease agreement reside in the same country, that means you are a lessor, you are also from the India, and I am the lessee, I am also from the India, both are residing in the same country. In this case it will known as the domestic lease. Fine. Now coming for the international lease, we have again subclasses, okay, subcategories. We have 2 types. One is your import lease. Okay, one is your import lease. So here what will happen, lessor and lessee, that is owner of the asset and the user of the asset, will reside from the same country. Both will be from the same country, but for which particular asset or equipment you both have entered into the lease contract, it should be the supplier of the equipment will stay or will be from different country. So just suppose if A and B, A is a lessor, B is a lessee, both are staying in India only, but A has got the supply of the particular equipment for which A and B will enter into a lease contract from the supplier who is staying in the China. So in this case, this type of international lease will be known as the import lease. Okay. Then the another type we have international one, that is cross border lease. In this, lessor and lessee will reside from two different countries. Okay, lessor and lessee will be residing in two different countries, and doesn't matter about your equipment supplier. Whichever country he is staying doesn't matter. Only the matter here what? Lessor and lessee resides in different countries. So that will become your cross-border lease. Fine. So very simple, I hope so. Domestic, all parties from the same country. International, in international also import lease, both parties are from the same country but the supplier from the another country. And in case of cross border, both party, that is lessor and lessee, from the different countries. Okay. Next we have to check direct lease. Name, directly arranged. Okay, there will be no middleman, no agent, nothing. Directly arranged the supply of your whatever equipment or assets you need through the leasing company. Okay, now in this also we have two subcategories. Okay, one is known as bipartite and another is known as tripartite. Okay, what is bipartite? We'll check here. Lessor and equipment supplier both are same person. Okay, lessor and equipment supplier both are same person, then it will be known as the bipartite lease. And if your equipment supplier and your lessor, okay, both are different person, equipment supplier is someone else and lessor is someone else, then it will be known as your tripartite. Okay, so this is your direct lease. Now the next in your chain, we have a next combination lease. Nothing to worry too much. Very simple, one line. Combination of financial lease and operating lease. Financial lease long term, so it will be long term also. But if you remember, in case of your operating lease, cancellation option was not there. In case of financial lease, cancellation option was not there for the lessee. But in case of your combination lease, even though it will be for the longer period of time, but the lessee will have the chance for or option for cancellation. So that's why we used to say it as a combination lease. Next we have specialized service lease. As the name used to only suggest you, that lessor provides specialized personal service in addition to providing the use. So whenever you buy some electronic items or goods or automobile items like air conditioner, if you are going to buy electronic items, so definitely you are going to get the position of the air conditioner for use under the lease contract, but at the same time whoever is providing you the right to use that air conditioner, that party will provide you the services also in relation to the air conditioner. That can be your maintenance services or that can be your guarantee, warranty, whatever they want they can include. Okay, that depends upon the mutual understanding of lessor and lessee. So not only in this case you are not only going to get the position of the asset and right to use the asset, but you are going to get the personal services also from the lessor. Okay, next we have full and non-payout lease. Okay, full payout lease, in which lessor recovers the full value of leased asset by way of leasing. Very simple. Okay, lessor used to lease out the asset or property and recovers the full value, how much he has invested to purchase or to acquire that particular asset or property. Full value he is going to recover by leasing only. But in case of your non-payout lease, the lessor lease out the same asset over and over and again. That reason is what? He is not able to recover the full value from the one lease contract. So he will keep on leasing the same property again and again with the different lessees. Okay, and then we have the last one, small ticket and big ticket. Okay, don't think that paper size, that is ticket size, will be big or small. No. Okay, whenever the lease asset, okay, belongs to a smaller value, okay, the asset which is involved in the leasing, if the value of that asset is small, then we used to call it as the small ticket lease. And if under your lease contract asset is involved which is having the larger value, then we are going to call it as a big ticket lease. Clear? Small value of your asset for which you have entered into the lease contract, small ticket lease. And the larger value of the asset for which you have entered into the lease contract, it will called as the big ticket lease. So kindly go for these all types of the leasings, and among the first two, that is your financial and the operating, kindly go for the differences also. Thank you. Have a nice day.